2021, which is jointly organized by the Tamil Nadu Rice Research Institute, Adurai, and the Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology, Tanjavur, in commemoration with the Tamil Nadu Agricultural University's Golden Jubilee celebrations, with a major focus on rice for global food, nutritional security, and rural livelihood. This conference, conducted in a hybrid mode, aims to facilitate a confluence of scientists from leading academic institutions, research scholars, and industries. I invite one and all to this conference to share their knowledge and expertise and all aspects of the prime grain rice. To begin this day, may I request all of you to please rise up for the Tamilthai Varthu. May I now invite all the respected dignitaries on the dais to come forward to light the lamp. Thank you, dignitaries, for lighting the lamp and bringing the divine light to this conference. May I now request Dr. V. Ambedkar, Director, TRRI, to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Agricultural University with a flower bouquet and memento. And to welcome Dr. S. Uma, Director, ICAR NRC for Banana, Tiruchirappalli, with the flower bouquet and memento. And to welcome Dr. A.K. Singh, Director, IARA New Delhi, with the flower bouquet and memento. He is joining us online, so on his behalf, I request Dr. M. Nagarajan, Principal Scientist and Head, IARA Regional Center, Adudurai, to receive it.
May I now request Dr. C. Anantaramakrishnan, Director IIFPT, to welcome Dr. Masilamani, Dean, ADAC and RI Tiruchirappalli with the flower bouquet and memento. And to present the District Development Manager of NABARD, Sri Balamurugan with the flower bouquet and memento. And to welcome Dr. M. Nagarajan, Principal Scientist and Head, IARI Regional Center, Adurai with the flower bouquet and memento. And finally, to welcome Dr. A. Velayudam, Dean Ichangotai with the flower bouquet and memento. Thank you, sir. I'm glad to invite Dr. V. Ambedkar, Director of Tamil Nadu Rice Research Institute, Adurai, to propose welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Very good morning to Nandal, Honorable Vice Chancellor of the prestigious Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, honored guests, esteemed invitees, eminent speakers, scholars, students, audience, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good morning to everyone present here. To welcome is to show honor. To welcome is to establish integrity. So while it is obvious to feel happy to deliver welcome address, I am also so excited and feel blessed about to take this role. Yes, sir. I take privilege to warmly welcome all the dignitaries and delegates of the first day of the Global Rice Conference 2021 on deliberation on advances in rice research, which is being organized jointly here by Tamil Nadu Rice Research Institute, Adurai, and Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology here. Both the institutes, you are aware, it has contributed in an excellent way and extraordinary contributions made on the well-being of the farmers and farming community of Tamil Nadu and across the country also. And at this juncture, the TRRI has, ever since its inception, nearly 100 years old institution has contributed a lot to the farming community by way of giving as many 55 high-yielding rice varieties which are being utilized not only in the state but also across the country and also in abroad. These varieties are, many of the varieties, say for example, ADT 36, ADT 39, ADT 46, these varieties are ruling nearly for 3 decades in every farming holdings of Tamil Nadu. So it has got an excellence of contribution for the cause of our Tamil Nadu farmers. At this juncture, there are many developments needs to be taken up for the institution, and also farmers are seeking many innovative technologies. So in order to fulfill all those requirements, it is felt necessary to organize an international conference in the form of a Global Rice Conference, which has been approved by our Honorable Vice Chancellor 1 year ago. Because of the pandemic situation, we could not take it up in right time. And even this year also, we had some problem in organizing this conference. With the constant motivation of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, it could be possible today to organize this mega program in the very beautiful hall of Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology. I am very much thankful to the hosting institute, Dr. C. Anantaramakrishnan, for his constant support and encouragement and providing this very beautiful hall for this for organizing this conference. So in this occasion, it is my duties and responsibility to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor who is with us today for delivering inaugural address. Our VC, his vision is a multi-dimensional view. He is not only tuning the educational and the research form, and also his innovations towards the farming community for providing all necessary inputs and also technology to the farming community is innumerable. His he has many laurels in his day. Right from his the beginning of the career, he has made a lot of contribution to the farming community. And today, this function could be possible because of his constant encouragement. Sir, I can pile many more laurels to him, but the time is very constrained. I have been given 10 times 10 minutes period. So with that, I have to finish up. So your vision is very great, and your encouragement to us for this not only this conference, but also the upliftment of the entire university is remember always. Sir, we are welcome here for this function. Next, I take the privilege of welcoming our chief guest who is on the line, Dr. Ashok Kumar Singh, the director of Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi, who is readily accepted our invitation for delivering the presidential address. Our A.K. Singh has a long association with TRRA Adurai ever since he has continued his PhD program in 1986 to my notice. And today he became the international figure to develop many basmati varieties and other contribution for the cause of rice research. Sir, your association with TRRA Adurai and also the National Institute IIRI is ever memorable. So in this occasion, we are very happy to welcome you to give presidential address here. And I am indebted to welcome this hosting institute director, Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan. He is a young and energetic personality, and a very short span of time, this institute has grown because of his contribution towards the various development, including many incubation centers he has provided across the state, particularly in our Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. And with this institution, he has made tremendous contribution for the cause of overall upliftment of the farming community. Sir, in this occasion, I am very much happy to welcome you, sir. Also, I am extremely happy to welcome former university officers, former registrar, our TRRA directors, 3-4 directors or former directors have come, Dr. M.S. Subramaniam, Dr. S. Jabaraj, Dr. V. Ravi, Dr. R. Rajendran, who are all present here. Sir, on behalf of the organizing committee, we are welcoming because your contribution for the cause of the TRRA development is unforgettable. So on this occasion, other directors are also willing to come over here because of some constraints in the present scenario. They have sent their messages to for the successful conduct of the program. Sir, again, we are welcoming you, sir. And also, I extend my warm welcome to the registrar, director of research, deans, directors, nodal officers of TNAU, and all university officers who are connected online. They are giving wishes to hear through online mode. I also welcome them. And I am extremely delighted to welcome the director, NRCV, Dr. S. Uma. She has readily accepted our invitation within very short span of time. Madam, you are gem of the woman folk. Because after your assumption of charges, many developmental has been taken place in NRCB, which is unforgettable in the history of NRCB. Our warm welcome to you, madam. Also, I extend my warm welcome to our Consume College's deans, Dr. Masilamani, Dr. Velayudam, and other university officers who are assembled here. I also extend my warm welcome to our Dr. M. Nagarajan, who is the principal scientist and head of the Indian Agricultural Research Institute unit at TRRI Adurai. His association with us is very, very laudable because our association in terms of research as well as the extension, every extension program, he is able to connect with us and contribute for the cause of farmers. Sir, we are welcoming for in this occasion. And Dr. M. Ravindran, Professor and Head, Center for Plant Molecular Biology, TNAU, Coimbatore. He is all along with us, this organizing this wonderful program. Every phase of the program, he has 3-4 times, he has made a visit to TRRI Adurai to discuss about the progress of the work being done here. Sir, your contribution is immeasurable. Therefore, at this occasion, we would like to invite you for this wonderful function. Also, I cordially invite Mr. K. Balamurugan, District Development Manager, NABARD. His contribution is very priceable. They have made a lump sum of contribution for this organization of this conference. Sir, on behalf of the TRRI Adurai as well as this institute, we are very proud to welcome you to this in this occasion. I am extremely felt happy. Many of our heads of research station, also heads of department of various colleges were all assembled before. Their contribution is priceable, and they have contributed many papers to this conference. And not only that, they have also gathered so much of funds for successful conduct of the national conference, international conference. Sir, on behalf of the entire organizing committee, we are welcoming you for this important function. Also, the contribution of program coordinators of KVK is also priceable. They have mobilized a lot of contribution for this conference. Also, I welcome all higher officials of various departments of State Department of Agriculture and also other government organizations who are associated with us for this important function. I am delighted to invite all distinguished speakers who are all being connected on the line, both our Indian country as well as the foreign country people, they are connecting with us. And this program has got so far 385 research papers in diversified research of rice crop. And there are many important sessions have been given. Our heads of research station and university officers are assembled here to handle the sessions. So I welcome all those who are supporting this program. Again, finally, I wholeheartedly welcome all the representatives from the sponsor, scientists, supporting staff of both the institutions, both TRRI Adurai as well as IIFPT, for their contribution for the smooth functioning of the conference. And also, the participants across the nation are assembled here, and many are connecting to the online. Many overseas people are being associated with us. Press media are here to record the program and telecast the program. I also welcome them for this important conference. I consider this conference is unique nature. It has got a tremendous effort to discuss various aspects. Whatever the research so far conducted that are not sufficient to cope up the farming community, still novel aspects of technologies are needed. It's especially wonder risers are required very much for our people, because in many foreign countries, rice fortified with many protein and other micronutrients are being very popular in foreign countries. So that kind of rice need to be developed here, and associated technologies also to be needed in order to cope up the present need of the farmers. So in this context, I hope this program will throw newer dimension of light for the well-being of the farmers in future course of time. I once again wholeheartedly welcome you all present here. If at all any omission, please kindly excuse. It is not purposefully done. So I welcome all of you assembled here, one and all, for this very important function. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, sir, for that warm welcome. May I now invite Dr. M. Ravindran, Professor and Head, Center for Plant Molecular Biology and Biotechnology, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, to brief us about the conference. Sir, please.
Honorable Vice Chancellor of prestigious Tamil Nadu Agriculture University and respected Director, the IAR Indian Agriculture Research Institute, New Delhi, Dr. A.K. Singh, and beloved directors of TRRI, Aduturai, IIFPT Thanjavur, Director NRC Banana, and Deans of Agriculture Colleges of Trichy and Ichangotai, and former directors and our mentors of TRRI who have laid strong foundation for the growth of the institute, and regional center IRA, Dr. Nagarajan, and representative from NABARD, and fellow scientists, distinguished speakers, participants, and media from friends. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to everyone. I join with Director TRRI and Director IIFPT in extending once again a warm welcome to all of you. And coming to this Global Rice Conference 2021, so this conference was a brainchild of our Honorable Vice Chancellor when we discussed about celebrating the Golden Jubilee celebrations of TNAU. And our Vice Chancellor specifically advised us to conduct a specific conference on rice, and that responsibility was given to Aduturai. So then we started planning about the meeting. Now and then he guided us, and when we discuss anything about rice in India, so the first name will come into our mind is Dr. A.K. Singh. So he is such an experienced person, and his contributions are enormous to the growth of rice research in India. So we got now and then guidelines, and he helped us in identifying thematic areas and identifying speakers and all. Thank you, sir, for guiding us in this event. And regarding this Global Rice Conference, so rice is a significant one, we all know. Beyond that, so this has two main reasons why we selected a specific conference for rice. One is rice is life. So this is the slogan of United Nations and the International Rice Research Institute. And secondly, so this rice addresses almost 9 out of 17 sustainable development goals of UN, a single entity which is capable of addressing 9 goals of United Nations in achieving food security. Such enormous potential this crop has, and enormous applications. And thirdly, I consider this rice as more than a crop and more than our life, because this has something to do with achieving food security in addition and nutritional security. This is capable of contributing for one country economy, and finally, so this is contributing for social security in several occasions. So we decided to conduct one specific conference for discussing the developments and advances on rice research. And why we selected Thanjavur for conducting this conference. So Thanjavur has a meaning for getting selected for conducting this event. One is that we know it's located in the Kaveri Delta zone, the rice bowl of Tamil Nadu, and even we can say rice bowl of South India. Secondly, this was the capital city of the powerful Chola dynasty, who made some reformation for systematizing and popularizing rice cultivation in South India. And thirdly, when we look into ancient Tamil literatures, almost 45 ancient literatures, so which are dating back to 3,000 years ago, so they mention Nel, meaning so which has the potential to alleviate poverty during the natural calamity. Specifically, it is mentioned in 2 ancient literatures, namely Malay and Kurungogai. So we selected, Aduturai is located around 60-70 kilometers from here. So then we selected conducting this event at Tanjavur. So we'll have a meaning in that. So then we selected IIFPT as our partners in conducting this event. This also has a meaning. So these two are twin satellite institutes. So one is very strong in basic research and applications, rice improvement and management. Other one is after harvest. So processing, value addition, and adding value food processing. So we joined together. So in identifying thematic areas for conducting this one. And again, when we talk about Aduturai, so this Aduturai has completed 99 years of its journey in rice research, and it's going to enter into its 100th year during 2022. So to mark the completion of 99th year, so we have taken up this assignment of conducting this Global Rice Conference, which will enable us to reform our strategies or to restructure our research programs to address the global needs. So when we talk about rice improvement or rice research, so when we look chronologically, rice yields have undergone two major milestones. So rice was a perennial crop and it was a large crop before 1960s. The first major milestone was achieved during 1960s. Rice was made as a semi-dwarf crop. By improving the harvest index, we were able to improve the yield potential. From 0.5 to 1 tons per hectare, we were able to reach the stage of 4 to 5 tons per hectare. Now we have varieties with even 7 to 8 tons per hectare, which can yield higher under all environments. And the second milestone was achieved during 1980s with the introduction of hybrids. So after that, no major breakthrough or no major milestones have been achieved in terms of improving rice productivity. Rice yields have started plateauing during recent years. When you look into the rice yield potential during the past 20 to 30 years, so it is not going beyond 7 to 8 tons per hectare. But we need to double the rice production by 2030. So how to achieve it? On one side, we have yield plateau. On the other side, we are going out of the resources are coming down. Land, water, labor, and other nutrient resources are coming down. So how to achieve the projected yield demand by 2030 or 2050? So really, we need to restructure our research strategies. So we thought of organizing this event now, and we will hear from the global talents. So we have carefully selected speakers from countries where they have achieved enormously in terms of rice improvement. So this Global Rice Conference, so we planned identified around 8 thematic areas, starting from genetic resources to value addition, nanotechnology, then remote sensing and geographical information system. How these advanced sciences can be deployed into rice production system to improve its yield potential. And we have carefully selected speakers, identified speakers, so that we are going to hear from 29 eminent rice researchers, so from around the world. So from USA, Canada, Italy, then Philippines, West Indies, Taiwan, Japan, etc. And there are going to be around 500 participants who are going to attend this event both through online and offline. And due to the overwhelming responses from the participants, as well as the kind acceptance from whomever the speakers we approach, so we have arranged for a very tight schedule of presentations. So we have arranged around 30 invited lectures for the benefit of the participants. And I request all the participants to take part actively in this forum or discussion, to hear from the global talents and to formulate innovative research plans to sustain rice production in our state as well as in our country. And the scientists, international scientists, So we have selected from all disciplines, from genetic resources to nanotechnology and remote sensing, and they will they are going to discuss us with their latest innovations or latest findings. So how we have to look how we are going to apply their innovations into our rice production system, so that we will be able to achieve that set target in the coming years. So finally, I wish all of you to have a fruitful discussion during these 2 days, and I request all your kind cooperation for the successful conduct of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for briefing us about the conference. Now, I'm pleased to invite our respected delegates to felicitate the event. May I now welcome Dr. S. Uma, Director, ICAR NRC for Banana, Tiruchirappalli, for felicitating the gathering.
Good morning to one and all. Respected Vice Chancellor, TNAU, Dr. Kumar sir. Director, IIFPT, co-host, Dr. Anand Ramakrishnan. Dr. Ambedkar, Director, TRRI. Dr. Nagarajan, Dr. Balamurugan, Dr. A.K. Singh, Director, IRI, ICAR, New Delhi. All the key officers of TNAU, heads of both the institutes, scientists, students, and colleagues. Good morning to one and all. I'm happy to be here to felicitate this function or this conference. Without saying, Global Rice Conference has attracted many scientists and researchers across the globe. I see the number of invited lectures, almost 30 across the country, across the world, and many more presentations by the students and by the researchers. I take this opportunity to appreciate the kind of hand-holding we do across the organizations and across the ministries. Always we have been told to share the infrastructure, to share the facilities, to work together. And this is the best example I can see. Across the ministries, you have Ministry of Agriculture, you have Ministry of Food Processing. Across the system in NARS, we have ICAR, and we are working with state agriculture universities. And of all things, the kind of amalgamation it has brought in, the kind of sharing, the experience and the infrastructure, definitely this is going to be a good example for everybody to follow. And I know Dr. N. Kumar, with his able leadership, he has brought in a lot of changes or improvements, or the vibrancy he has brought in with TNAU. And this is one of the series commemorating their celebrations. And without saying, Dr. Anand Ramakrishnan, who has brought in again a seal change in the system for the institute, the way he took it in the last couple of 5 years during his tenure, I have seen it. And I am very thankful to serve both the institutes as one of the board members, both for IIFPT and also for TNAU. I thank the opportunity given to be part of all these improvements. I don't want to take much time. It's again thankful, first of all, to the Almighty, after we have gone through 2 series of COVID problem. I know how institution or organization can be at loss. Even our ICR organization has lost almost 109 staff across various hierarchy. In the hierarchy, we have lost almost 109 permanent staff and many more contractuals. We should be happy we are here physically present for a seminar like this. Thank Almighty. I wish this seminar, the conference, a great success. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, madam. Now, I would like to invite Dr. M. Nagarajan, Principal Scientist and Head, IARI Regional Center, Adudurai, for the felicitation.
Honorable Vice Chancellors of TNAU, IRI, ICR, IRI New Delhi, and directors of various directorates of TNAU, ex-directors of TRRI, and director IIFPT, and director NRCBP, and Dr. Ambedkar, Dr. Anandaramakrishnan, and Dr. Ravindran, also distinguished delegates from national and international level. Good morning to all. It is a great honor for me to present a felicitation address to this August gathering. First of all, I thankful to the organizer who has given me this opportunity. So I want to address one or two issues from the rice production system itself. Though we have achieved the 120 million tons of production recently, with all improved production technologies and high yielding varieties, still there are long way we have to go because the yield gap between actual and achievable is huge between across the India. Luckily, the Tamil Nadu has the very lesser yield gap than rest of the states in India. Therefore, these yield gaps can be overcome by developing through high yielding varieties using new plant types, where new plant types have the longer panicle, higher grain numbers, and grain weight, so on and so forth. Therefore, by using this only, you can increase the yield level at least to 10 to 20% higher than the existing one. This way, we can take care of the future food security. Another one, we all know that India is the largest exporter in terms of basmati as well as non-basmati. And last year, for reason that basmati has exported around 46 lakh tons, whereas it has given 30,000 crores of forex money to the India. Similarly, non-basmati, we have exported 131 lakh tons of non-basmati for various kinds of grains, including broken rice, and has earned about 45 crores, 45,000 crores of foreign exchange. And therefore, we can give importance for such aspects also, so that the farmers can get benefit and the farming will be more meaningful. And second, I hope these 2 days deliberations will bring the guideline for the future development of production technologies, including rice varieties and hybrids. Of course, hybrids, it has not taken up as we expected. But luckily, in Tamil Nadu, the nature has bestowed us with environments where you can go for two-line rice hybrids, that is TGMS. So you have the ecosystem for seed production phase, as well as you have phase for sterile lines with multiplications. Therefore, we can concentrate on so that which will give you much better yield than the varieties. We are working on it. Hopefully, we may able to come up with a variety shortly. I hope this seminar will give a pathway for future guidelines in order to face the food security challenges we are going to face in coming years, 2030 or 2040. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I am very glad to invite Sri Balamurugan, District Development Manager of NABARD, to facilitate the gathering.
Respected VC sir, TNAU, Director IIFPT, Director TRRI, Director NRCB, and other dignitaries in the dais and also in audience. So I convey my wishes to all of you on behalf of NABARD. Actually, I am participating here on behalf of our CGM, who has not able to come today because of some important engagements. Any who is coming here for the meeting, that NABARD doesn't mean, because recently we have conducted one seminar where our earlier CGM was instrumental in sanctioning that project. But then for attending that program, that the next CGM has come. Here for this program, our T. Venkatakrishna CGM was very much instrumental in sanctioning. He wanted to come to this program. He specifically told me, definitely I will come. But because of some important engagement, he is not able to come. He advised me to attend this. So about rice, everybody knows it is an important staple food, and Tanjavur is very important place in India in rice production. So we have conducted, NABARD supported in Tanjavur recently that horticulture, vegetable cultivation. We have supported NABARD for Agri College, one international seminar. So it is incomplete without supporting a seminar for rice. So it was a timely, it came. So both the vegetables and the rice conference conducted in Tanjavur, and the NABARD was able to support both the conferences. In addition to this, we have supported various other seminars in animal husbandry. So our veterinary college is also in Varathanadu. We have supported 3 seminars for animal vaccines, integrated farming. So all are supported under research and development fund only. So that rice, as you know, that it is important, and its production quality is important, and it's how to tackle that crop management and storage, value addition, everything is important. So NABARD is involved. I'm not going to talk about the rice. NABARD is involved in each and every stage. So NABARD is financing the institutions for helping the farmer to take up the crop. Then we are seeing in wherever when the procurement is ready, so farmers are rushing through the DPC, and they want to sell it to the government. So due to various problems that government is not able to procure, but NABARD is involved through our REDF fund. We have supported direct procurement center, storages. We have supported packs to construct godowns. We have most of the buffer godowns in Tanjavur are supported by NABARD under warehouse infrastructure fund. So in addition to that, NABARD in Tanjavur, that Agri College is supported under RIDF. So because of this various supports, NABARD, because NABARD is a development bank, and its aim is agriculture and rural development by the name itself. So we, wherever possible, our this seminar also, the ultimate aim is it has to support that farmer, whatever the feedbacks comes from this seminar. So it has to help through farmers. So this is our objective. So in addition to this type of seminars, we have also supporting one farm sector promotion fund, one research is going on.
one research is going on in Adurai, that traditional rice characterization and purification of Kauni rice. So that is also NABARD is supporting, and we are supporting the SHG members for taking a value addition of food products. That type of works we are doing. So my only ultimate request is that outcomes, it should be beneficial to the farmers. So we hope that whoever participating in the webinar, India and for foreign countries, so we'll give definite suggestions, and the outcomes will be submitted to will also be submitted to NABARD, which will be taken care by the institutions and other policy makers. So thank you for giving me the opportunity, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are fortunate enough to have Dr. A.K. Singh, Director, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi, to preside over the inaugural ceremony of the Global Rice Conference 2021. He is associated with development of 13 rice varieties, including 5 NAS-derived basmati varieties. These improved basmati varieties occupy about 1.8 million hectare area, bringing about prosperity to millions of basmati farmers, while earning 25,000 crores of foreign exchange annually. He is a recipient of several prestigious awards, some of which includes ICAR Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Award, ICAR Bharat Ratna Dr. C. Subramaniam Award. He has also been recognized with IARA Best Teacher Award, IARA BP Paul Award, Agricultural Leadership Award, Bhagwat Award, Dr. A.S. Chuma Award, and Sri Om Prakash Bhashan Award. Dr. A.K. Singh has served as an expert member in DBT task forces, APIDA, RAC, and SAC of many national institutes. He is Fellow of Indian National Science Academy, National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, Indian Society of Genetics and Plant Breeding. With all his noted contributions to science, Dr. A.K. Singh is the utmost person to preside over this ceremony. The pandemic situation has limited his valuable presence in person. But we are extremely grateful, sir, for accepting our invitation and joining with us online for this occasion. Over to you, sir, for the presidential address.
Thank you very much. It's my proud privilege to be associated with the celebration of 100 years of Tamil Nadu Rice Research Institute, an institution which has played a very important role in shaping my career. Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Professor N. Kumar, Director, Tamil Nadu Rice Research Institute, Dr. Ambedkar, Professor Ravindran, a good friend of mine. On the dais, we have Dr. Uma Devi, Director, NRC and Banana, my colleague, Dr. Nagarajan, and Director of Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology, Dr. Anand Ramakrishnan, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It feels very nostalgic for me to, go back to the memory lane of 1986, 87, 88, when I used to go frequently to Tamil Nadu Rice Research Institute at our regional station in Adudurai for conducting my experiments for PhD program, mostly for making crosses, and I would stay for 3 months in a go, make crosses, harvest seed, and then I will come. Those days, Adudurai was very different than what Adudurai we see today. I fondly remember the then director, Dr. Chelaya. What a fantastic person, what a disciplinarian. The one thing that influenced me, and I still remember, I can't forget, is that there was one Mahendraji with the institute those days. And Dr. Chalaya will never use that jeep for coming to his residence and going to office for lunch or, for morning time. He will use his one, what is called, because TVS kind of vehicle that he will drive and go. So that was the kind of dedication and commitment and honesty in those brand of people. He highly influenced me even those days by his principles that he has set for life. Very strict in discipline, and subsequently we had number of directors. I had personal interaction again, Dr. Ramanathan, then Dr. Abdul Karim. We had great time with each one of them, even as a student. And then many of the colleagues who are now at very senior position in the university system. I remember they had just joined their career, Dr. Geeta, Dr. Ramanathan, Murli Krishnaswamy, Zai Raman, and and among the seniors, we had Dr. Subramaniam, Dr. Parth Sarthi. I used to have great interaction with all these people, and the time spent at Adurai during that period was really wonderful. I learned a lot from that station, and the role of Adurai station in contribution of Indian Agriculture Research Institute from New Delhi is enormous as off-season nursery. Today we talk of what is called speed breeding. And in 60s, late 60s, Dr. Swaminathan thought of having off-season nursery there, and we could raise at least 2 crops in a year to accelerate our breeding program and reduce the breeding cycle from 12 years to 6 years in terms of varietal development process. So, and that's how the station has made great progress. I feel greatly honored in having been asked to deliver the special lecture on the occasion of this particular conference. And I would like to share briefly the presentation for next. Just confirm if you can see it. Fine. So are you able to see the presentation? I hope you are able to see the presentation. Can you please confirm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to briefly talk about rice research and development progress and challenges. And when we talk of rice, we know that the total rice production in the country last year was 121 million tons, with paddy production of about 170 million tons and 300 million tons of residue that is produced. It feeds about 0.8 billion people in the country. 67% of the people are engaged in the operations, various operations, and it's livelihood security to 150 million rural people. And the total consumption of fertilizer, almost 37% is used for rice. Besides that, the contribution in terms of greenhouse gas emission, which is currently estimated to the tune of 3.5 million tons of methane from rice paddy field, which was earlier said by global estimations to be 37 million tons. But the experiments conducted at IRI, including number of centers, pinned down it to 3.5 million ton, and rice was not then, declared as culprit for major contribution towards the greenhouse gas. Still, the significant contribution happens from rice paddy field. In terms of, if you look at the overall growth that has happened from 75, 76 onward, if you see, hardly there is increase in area, is almost static. But we have produced 121 million tons of rice in last crop season. And this has become possible only with the introduction of, climate resilient, dwarf, high yielding varieties and improved productivity. The current productivity levels are, about 3.5 tons per hectare of paddy. And in terms of milled rice, it's about 2.3 million tons per hectare. But this, I think, for future demand, if we have to see, these projections have to change, and how and what we need to do that. For that, I think I will focus on some of those points. If you look at the buffer stock norm, and this has impacted, how India's situation during the COVID time. The government declared almost 80 crores people in the country 35 kilogram of ration free per month. And this was only possible because of the buffer stock were overflowing, particularly in case of rice over and above the norm fixed by Government of India. We had almost 33 million tons of rice in the buffer stock, and that is how we were able to support the needy people during the COVID pandemic. And also, we were able to set the export target ever highest. The total export, as was said by Dr. Nagarajan, reached to 13 million ton plus of non-basmati rice, and about close to 4.6 to 4.7 million tons of basmati rice. In terms of value, it goes to almost 60,000 crores plus. But we must remember that this increase in export happens because of the opportunity that India got, because India had surplus. Most of the countries, rice-eating countries, they wanted to be food secured in the event of pandemic, and therefore they wanted to import and keep the reserve rice for their population if the pandemic continues for longer time. So that was one reason for a sudden increase in the non-basmati export. Still, we are not very competitive in the international market in terms of pricing, and that's where the rice cultivation has to be made more efficient, economic, and less expensive. Today, rice farmers, you all understand that if someone is doing rice farming on a leased land, he is doing it in a negative balance. Even if he's doing on his own land, it is with a zero balance almost. The per acre cost of cultivation is roughly 30,000 rupees. And if you get very good yield in northwestern India, for example, if we get about 30 quintals per acre, and with MSP price, you get 1,800 rupees, roughly 54,000 rupees. Of that, 30,000 goes into the cost of cultivation alone. So the remaining 20,000, you have several other. If it is a leased land, obviously you're not left with anything, and therefore rice farming has to be really made economic and efficient. The current average productivity is 2.74 tons per hectare. The area under irrigated rice is 24 million hectare, and this is mostly in the states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, and part of Andhra and Tamil Nadu. Now, this rain-fed area, which is 17.2 million hectare, the contribution because of uncertainty of different kind is not so much. And around 85% of the total rice production is contributed by the favorable ecology. And therefore, in terms of policy, one has to think like the areas which are contributing significantly low in terms of rice production. There, the diversification is extremely important. Diversification to high value crops, particularly horticultural crops with innovation in technology, with smart farming technology, etc. There is a need to think seriously on that. Also, diversification from the high productive areas is extremely important. Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, the way water table is depleting, it may not be possible to sustain rice production in a sustainable manner for long time. So unless we go for diversification, crop diversification in terms of crops like pigeon peas, soybean, maize, these are the crops, if they are introduced, they will solve many problems. I'm just touching on some of the policy issues. If government assures full procurement at a reasonable price for the crops like pigeon pea, maize, soybean, and even say that no MSP for rice, then Punjab farmers, Haryana farmers, Western UP farmers, they do not grow rice for themselves. They produce rice for the other consumers in the country. All the rice produced here goes into PDS system. Anything that brings good economics to them, they will be ready to diversify. And then this will address a number of problems: the problem of water, problem of labor, and problem of paddy straw burning, which causes pollution. All three major problems can be solved if we have this kind of diversification with price insurance for farmers, so that they get same kind of remuneration as they are getting from rice. Rice in relation to sustainable development goal, Dr. Ravindran said about 9 goals, but if you look at the indirect contribution also, it addresses as many as 15 of the 17 sustainable development goals. And therefore, rice is key to our food security, our nutritional security, environmental security, and sustainability. So all these needs to be addressed, and the productivity, of course, in future we have to produce more rice from less area. One of the sustainable way for rice farming is that from 43 million hectare area, at least we bring it down to 36 million hectare, which other countries have done. China, for example, reduced from 32 million hectare to close to 28 million hectare. And if there is a requirement, they will import rice. They won't mind it because the production of rice is so expensive in terms of environmental cost. And therefore, if you can buy it at a cheaper price from rice produced in other countries, why to produce it? So I think, but the only problem is that the moment India gets into international market to purchase rice, the prices will shoot up very fast. And therefore, we, of course, have to take into account that factor because we are one of the major, producers of rice and also consumers. The challenges in rice farming is to link it with the market, with minimum support price, value addition, as I mentioned. Climate change is happening, so aberrations in climate change are happening very frequently. This year, for example, incessant rains in North India, particularly during the flowering period, a lot of farmers are facing problem of chaff grain, not proper grain filling, that is coming up as a major problem. Mechanization and mechanization-led problem that has come up. See, the whole issue of parali burning is the product of mechanization. After combine harvesting started, the paddy straw is left in the field. Farmers have no time, particularly the long duration varieties, which are about say 150, 55 days. One of our variety, Pusa 44, which produces 8 tons plus per hectare. But it is harvested end of October and first week of November, and farmers have to take up wheat sowing in the first week of November itself. So there is no time, and the easiest thing that they find is to put a matchstick and then get the field ready. So some of these things have to be really addressed, how we can bring the duration reduced by 30 days or 25 days, but maintain the same productivity level, so that farmer get 25 days time in between rice and wheat to manage the straw by incorporation, by decomposition, and therefore it also helps indirectly the soil health, the physical, chemical, and biological health of the soil. So management of small land holding is another major challenge, and mainstreaming collaboration and capacity building in the frontier area of science and technology is extremely important. So transplanted rice is, in fact, you see how this practice evolved of transplanted rice. The water has been traditionally used as a herbicide, and the water is biggest herbicide. After transplanting rice, if you keep your field with a stagnated water for 5 centimeter for 15 days, 20 days, then it takes care of weed. So that's how the practice evolved. And today it is almost, bulk of area is under transplanted condition. The amount of water used for a rice crop of about, say, 4 months duration is 150 hectare centimeter, and 1 hectare centimeter is 1 lakh liter. And out of this 150 lakh liter water that is required for the rice crop, 15 lakh liter, that is 15 hectare centimeter is required only for puddling before transplanting. So in direct seeded rice, we take care of this particular, and directly save 15 lakh liter of water. So this is essentially required, the statistics which I told you, which is resulting into depletion of water resources. Almost 3,000 liters of water per kilogram of rice produced is used. And the labor scarcity for transplanting is another problem. Labor cost is increasing, and therefore sustainable farming for rice, we have to go for direct seeded rice. There is no two opinion about it. This year in Punjab, governments have made a lot of efforts, and as a result, about 6 lakh hectare, 0.6 million hectare area has been shifted to DSR. And this is dry DSR, unlike wet DSR, which is practiced in those areas where water is not a problem. But the DSR major problem that farmers would face is the weed problem, nematode problem, deficiency of iron, and these things have to be managed effectively. so that DSR is successful. Now, in this direction, excellent work was done by DBT funded project on killing, where we had a network project with Tamil Nadu Agriculture University as a very valued partner. And our partner, Dr. Robin, unfortunately, we don't have him with us now, a great man, a great scientist, a very humble person, very soft-spoken person. Anything that you say in his praises is less. His commitment and along with Professor Ravindran at the university led to identification of this mutant, herbicide-tolerant mutant in the background of Nagina 22. And subsequently, we have deployed this mutation in breeding program, and now we have transferred the gene in the background of two of our basmati varieties, Pusha Basmati 1509 that you see in the picture on the top. And this is an early duration variety, 120 days variety seed to seed maturity. On the right hand side, what you see is 1509, where hand beating is done, plot. And in the middle, you have 1509, which is sprayed with imijathapir. And the left hand side, you have the improved version of 1509 with imijathapir tolerance, incorporating the mutant allele of ALS gene. So here also the herbicide has been sprayed in this plot, left plot, and also in the middle plot. In middle plot, you see rice is also killed, 1509 original variety, along with all weeds are killed. But in case of 1985, the improved version of 1509 with herbicide tolerance, nothing happens to crop, but all weeds are effectively controlled. So one single spray of imijathapir at 18 days after transplanting or direct seeding provides an effective weed control. The lower plot that you see is from direct seeded plot. And if it is not done in unweeded control, you can see on the extreme left, you will find only weeds and nothing else. Now, this is a technology that is going to play a vital role in bringing transformation in rice farming by introduction of direct seeded rice. The technology, so-called Clearfield technology, has been deployed in a number of crops, including rice, canola, and several other crops in US, Brazil, Argentina, and rice itself, almost 13 million hectare area is planted to Clearfield technology. This was a wonderful, innovation that has been done through this project that was led by our Honorable Director General ICR, Dr. Mahapatra, and all the project partners. Still, the project is continuing. We are working on various aspects of it. We are also working on expansion of label claim for this herbicide because rice is sensitive, so it is not recommended for use in rice. So now we are generating data. 1 year data is generated, 2nd year data on the bioefficacy of weed control, on residue, and on the effect on succeeding crops. So once this data is generated, we will go for filing a expansion of label claim with the CIVRC, Central Insecticide Board and Registration Committee. And once the expansion is done, and I am happy to inform you that these two varieties, one improved version of 1509 and improved version of 1121, both these varieties have been released by Central Variety Release Committee in a meeting that was done just day before yesterday. So this will provide, it will open altogether new venue. Likewise, all our colleagues have taken massive backcross breeding program of this gene into several agronomic background, including at TNAU, at Hyderabad, at Cuttack, and very soon we will have many prominent varieties converted into herbicide-tolerant rice. And this is non-GM herbicide-tolerant rice. By saying that, I am not against GM. GM is also a good technology, but we have issues in terms of public perception. This is non-GM herbicide-tolerant rice, so acceptance is not an issue. It can directly go for cultivation. The diseases, as you can see how, this compilation done by Dr. Lata from DRR, the number has increased tremendously in past few years, and this is the result of change in climate. Likewise, the insect number has gone from, say, 3 in 1965, which were prominent, to 19 today. How do we manage them? The losses due to insect pests and diseases in yield and the cost that is incurred. About 3,000 to 4,000 rupees per acre is used on pesticide alone. If we save that cost, that is added income to farmers. So in doubling farmers' income, we have to focus on three-pronged strategy. The first one is reducing cost of cultivation. Second, enhancing productivity, and third, better value realization for the produce. So if all three together can definitely help in doubling the farmers' income. Likewise, the soil fatigue has happened because of excessive, cultivation and no supply for micronutrients. Our farming has been primarily based on nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. Potash, not many areas it is applied, even where sufficient potash exists. But micronutrient deficiency over period has started coming up because we have not been applying micronutrients in particular, but removal has been taking, and also the organic uses have reduced subsequently, which is a more balanced way of this thing, and therefore integrated nutrient management is also extremely important. The paddy straw burning is a major challenge and it's a policy issue that needs to be addressed. And if you look at the situation in Punjab, during 2016, there were 1,20,000, 1,02,000 fire burning spots were detected. And we at IRI, through our satellite imagery, we have started monitoring from 15th September onward. Every day, we produce a data for the total number of fire spots in the states of Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, and also we are taking Madhya Pradesh and Odisha, and also Andhra and Telangana, where burning is happening. So there was because of the massive efforts from the government in terms of supporting mechanization for direct seeder, for what is called happy seeder, for super seeder, and zero tillage. The fire burning spots has come down from almost 1 lakh in 2016 to 50,000 in 2019. This is in Punjab. But last year there was a upsurge, and this primarily happened because of protest-born farmers were on the strike because of farmers' agitation. So they, in protest also they won. But there is a good success in reducing the number, and this effort is continuing. We have developed at IRI the technology called Pusa decomposer, and we have now a tie-up with United Phosphorus Limited, Advanta group of companies, where they are taking upscaling the production of decomposer in large scale and geotagging the fields. And this year the target is to go for 5 lakh acre area in Punjab and Haryana together for application of Pusa decomposer, so that the residue can be better managed, and this has been found very effective. So we have, the requirement our population by 2050 is expected to be 1.82 billion. And for this, we need paddy of 198 million tons. And therefore, we have to enhance productivity further to 5.5 tons per hectare, and 7 million hectare of unfavorable rice ecosystem, if can be withdrawn and put to other crops and alternative uses with smart farming, that will be a game changer. Value chain development is extremely important. And for example, what I have shown here is basmati rice, how from production to licensing to seed companies for seed production, constant interaction with the farmers, monitoring at mandi level, at factory level, the exporters level. So this complete value chain and all stakeholders have to play their important role to make the technology succeed. In non-basmati segment, this has not happened so much. But now that we have got a large number of, specialty rices, and there are as many as 20 rice varieties from different states which have been protected under geographical indication. And the massive efforts have to go into to create niche market for these varieties in terms of commercialization. Not much has happened. We have started doing something on Kala Namak from Eastern Uttar Pradesh. We have made it dwarf and improved its productivity. But likewise, for all these GI protected rices, I think one district, one product campaign, like it is happening in UP, for 11 districts for Kala Namak, which are protected under GI. This is going in big way. Likewise, all states should take up to promote these rices, which will help in enhancing farmers' productivity. New breeding technology, the way forward, when we talk briefly, this is my last slide. The new breeding technology are extremely important. And the first and the most important thing in this context is genome editing. You all know that the two component of genome editing, SDN1 and SDN2, where the gene is native, protein is native, there is no issue of toxicity, allergenicity, and so on, should be deregulated, and they should not be considered transgenics. Based on nationwide consultation with the academies, with several government departments, the now detailed report has been submitted seeking exemption of SDN1 and SDN2 from regulation. This is pending with the GAC. Recently, one circular has come. I think hopefully I made a presentation just few days back before the Secretary Environment that a quick decision should be taken on this particular thing, so that a lot of work that is happening on genome editing to develop value-added product would be very important. And this is going to be a very important tool in addressing many problems of, for example, so far we have been working mostly on those genes for which the natural variants by spontaneous mutations are already reported. We are trying to create that artificially using genome editing. But the whole range of problem of biotic stresses, where the host pathogen interaction always happens when there is a recognition. And if that recognition can be altered for many of the problems like brown spot, false smut, other diseases, stem borer, where we have not been able to make big headway, whether genome editing can be an effective tool, and we need to work out what is the recognition site. And once the recognition site is known between host and pathogen, the host can be altered suitably through genome editing to bring new innovation. Resource use efficiency is again a very important factor, as I said, for reducing the cost of cultivations by economizing the cost of cultivations, improving productivity, resilience to biotic, abiotic stresses, and nutritional quality. DSR and hybrid rice. Again, I remember very clearly that when the hybrid rice project was launched in 1989, promotion of research and development efforts on hybrids in selected crops. 9 crops were taken. And in 1989, the target fixed was that by 2000, we should be able to have 2 million hectare area under hybrid rice. But in 2021, still we are stuck up around 3.5. The progress has been very slow. We need to work on that. Precision farming using artificial intelligence, sensor, drone, big machine learning, big data, all has to be put together. In fact, to bring, and we have a IIFPT, All India Coordinated Projects, special projects on precision farming. Our colleague Dr. Sahu and several other centers are participating in that. Rice residue management in situ as well as ex situ. So ex situ, in situ, I have described how we can go for incorporation, surface retention, and various options, whether it is happy seeder or super seeder or incorporation. And then ex situ for power generation, there are 18 plants that have been installed in the state of Punjab with 18 megawatt capacity. So there with baler, it is picked up and taken to these plants for generation of electricity. Then improving water productivity and sustaining soil health. This is again an important component, developing the rice value chain. As rightly said by Dr. Ravindran in his opening remarks, that rice is life, and for sure rice is life. But rice production has to be made sustainable. It has to be made profitable for farmers to continue with rice farming. So I think there are a number of challenges. I am sure that during this seminar, next 2 days, we are going to deliver on those important issues and come out with very specific recommendation on each of the aspects which have been highlighted and otherwise, so that a plan of action is prepared. With that, I would like to thank each one of you for your patient hearing, and to organizers, to Honorable Vice Chancellor, particularly for giving me this opportunity to share my thought on rice farming and rice sustainability. Thank you very much. Wish the conference a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words and great address to the gathering. At this moment, we would like to honor the former directors of TRRI. For this, I would like to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, to felicitate the former directors of TRRA with shawls and mementos. May I now invite Dr. M. Subramaniam onto the dais.
हाँ ठीक है नहीं लाइट
May I invite Dr. S. Jabaraj onto the dais. May I invite Dr. V. Ravi onto the dais. May I invite Dr. R. Rajendran onto the dais. May I now invite Dr. P. Subbayan, former registrar, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, to receive the shawl and the memento.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to introduce our most honorable Vice Chancellor of the prestigious Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Dr. N. Kumar. Dr. N. Kumar has an excellent academic and professional record. Sir began his career as an assistant professor in horticulture during 1979 at Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, and by consistent and meritorious performance, he rose to occupy subsequent positions, including the Dean of Horticultural College and Research Institute, TNAU Coimbatore, during 2009 to 2013. Sir is the 13th Vice Chancellor of the renowned Tamil Nadu Agricultural University at Coimbatore. He was conferred with the Lifetime Recognition Award by the Confederation of Horticulture Association of India during May 2019 and Lifetime Achievement Award in August 2019 by Tamil Nadu Hill Banana Growers Federation of Dindigul and from ICAR National Research Center for Banana Tiruchirappalli during February 2020. Sir was conferred with the Agriculture Trade and Technology Award 2019 by Tamil Nadu Agro Input Traders Association at Kumbakonam and was also conferred with the Harit Ratna Award by the All India Agricultural Student Association during January 2020. Sir is a recipient of Fellow of Horticultural Society of India and Society for Promotion of Horticulture, and he has 5 medals and 9 medals in his career spanning over a period of 35 years. With an abundant research and professional knowledge in the field of agriculture and horticulture, Sir is also endowed with a passion of writing. He has contributed an array of publications, including 8 textbooks, 14 book chapters, 52 internationally acclaimed research papers, 83 research papers in Indian journals, 42 popular articles, 8 teaching and extension manuals, and 14 technical bulletins. Professor Dr. N. Kumar is an inspiring teacher and mentor of research. His career path has been defined by his admirable scholastic aptitude in teaching and sterling contributions in research, practical approach in extension in the field of horticulture, along with keen administrative enthusiasm and capabilities to manage multitude of administrative portfolios. I'm extremely happy to invite the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Agricultural University to inaugurate the Global Rice Conference 2021 by releasing the conference souvenir and component of permanent manual experimental tires. Sir, I now request to please release the compendium of permanent manual experimental trials. Thank you, sir. For his noted contributions in this field, Tamil Nadu Rice Research Institute and Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology is proud to confer the Uravarin Puravalar Award to the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Agricultural Universities. For this, I request Dr. V. Ambedkar, Director TRRI, and Dr. C. Anantharamakrishnan, Director IIFPT, to please present the award to the Honorable Vice Chancellor. Sir, may I now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Agricultural University to please deliver the inaugural address.
Good morning to all of you. Dr. A.K. Singh, IRA Director, for his excellent talk on rice cultivation, its opportunities and challenges. And also the last slide is very impressive, that every rice worker should be aware of it. That is going to be our future agenda to be taken up either as a breeder or as a agronomist or as a soil scientist or a management, pest management or disease management scientist. Thank you, Dr. Singh, for joined based on our request. Distinguished directors and deans sitting on the dais, particularly the retired scientist, Dr. Subramanian, Dr. Jabaraj, my batchmate, and others, and also former registrar, Dr. Subayan, all the other rice scientists who are either directly or indirectly connected with rice have assembled here to make this function a success one. I am not a rice scientist, but basically from a rice family. In 1960s and all, in our village, people used to tell that rice cultivation is not at all economic because they were getting at that time 400 or 450 kg per acre. Of course, the input cost, labor cost and all were very cheaper. But famine is also there at that time. Subsequently, with the Green Revolution and introduction of high-yielding varieties from IRI, the same farmers started getting double the yield, realizing the importance of scientific rice cultivation. Subsequently, many development took place in rice cultivation. Now, India, our average yield is nearly 2.7 metric ton as per Dr. A.K. Singh. However, our Tamil Nadu average yield is 3,630. So we are better than the national average, for which we have to salute all our scientists, policymakers who are responsible for this. In fact, our Tamil Nadu government was awarded 5 times Krishi Karman Award because of the continuous support given by the farmers, other things to get this award. And we have made a small analysis in the last year how the productivity of different crops in the last 10 years rose up. It was astonishing to find that paddy average yield in the last 10 years has risen up by nearly 0.96 metric ton. Definitely it is due to the contribution of good improved varieties given by our breeders, good technologies developed by our agronomists or soil scientists, also the good machineries developed by the thing, overall good policy support, and again the good effort of the farmers of Tamil Nadu. And TNAU has got a special involvement in rice cultivation or rice research, etc. That also we made an analysis. Out of the 100% resources we have, 27% goes to rice. So that shows the importance of rice research in TNAU, wherein we have 5 important research stations exclusively devoted for rice, and among them our TIRI, which is going to celebrate centenary year next year. So when we were discussing about the TNAU Golden Jubilee Year celebration, then all directors were given the assignment of organizing international or national level global conferences. I'm happy that from TIRI, these people have come out, and also very good support given by Dr. Anandara Krishnan, the director of the present hall, which has been very goodly embellished with all flowers, other things to make this conference really a global conference one. My congratulations to the entire team of the IIFPT. See, in the last 3 years, as Vice Chancellor, I had good opportunity to interact with many of the paddy breeders and also paddy other scientists. And our yield has reached a plateau. I think Dr. Subramaniam, our farmer DR, will also acknowledge. After a certain level, we cannot increase our yield. But however, when we make a geographical analysis within the state, if we find that there are certain districts in our state wherein the average productivity is more than 4,500, for example, Krishnagiri and all. Whereas our average productivity in the whole state is 3,600. So there are some key factors which are available in these districts which are responsible for higher productivity because of the geographical other things. So it is up to the policymakers and our scientists to sit together and analyze what are the factors which we can alter so that the overall productivity of our state will go up concomitant with productivity of the paddy. The good contribution of our Department of Rice at TNAU is laudable. The first variety developed by Dr. Ramaya as early as 1920 or something. I understand it is GEP 24. Still that variety is preserved in the paddy breeding station, and every visitor is shown that that variety is responsible for giving the quality, and this is being used as one of the parents in all sectors of paddy improvement, even in other countries. So that shows the landmark we are left in paddy breeding. And also the scientific personnel, I should acknowledge here, right from Mr. Srinivasan, who was responsible for releasing of the variety Karuna, whom I know personally in the year 1972 when I joined TNAU. There are galaxy of rice breeders like Dr. Subramanian, Dr. Subramanian, Jabaraj, and all these people, even now, Dr. Robin, who has not with us, who is not with us now, all these breeders have contributed a lot, and the youngsters should follow their path to develop new varieties in the years to come. But the new development of new varieties, other things, we have to reorient our breeding approaches, etc. Earlier and all, we used to say a high-yielding variety with one or two important traits. Now it is time for the breeders and others joint together, particularly a breeder should be working along with the biotechnologist to pyramid all genes responsible for conferring biotic or abiotic stresses under one genotype. This is what in Philippines they call smart rice, I suppose. So this kind of approach is very, very essential, and our university is going on the right direction. Even this herbicide tolerant variety which Dr. A.K. Singh mentioned, our scientist, particularly Dr. Rabindran, has transferred this gene into our one variety, ADT, other things under field testing conditions. Then the last June month, I had the opportunity of attending this Kuruvai package meeting in same Tanjavur, wherein I was very happy to note that the Department of Agriculture is recommending all our varieties released by the TNAU, including TPS 5, released from Triple Saram, is recommended for Kaveri Delta area. That shows the credentials of our varieties. So such kind of very good varieties are available at TNAU. We need to develop in the days to come, as I told you, the gene priming with other characters like extra early duration, suitable for mechanization, improved quality, biofertigations, etc. And another thing which is not available in India is the, as also Dr. A.K. Singh also pointed out, the GMO technology. Though some of the golden rice and all very popular becoming in other countries, because of the policy, we could not take up in the large scale cultivation of this variety. Let it be. But the new technology, namely gene editing, CRISPR Cas technology, has to be exempted from this, for which some groups are working. So my request to our university officers, particularly the breeders and the CPMB and all, you please sit with those groups and try to work out a draft policy which we can take up at the state level as well as the national level, and also with the present support of Dr. A.K. Singh and the Director General, definitely we can make a breakthrough, because in the days to come, this technology is going to play a key role, and we will be able to develop genotypes with required traits and all very easily. And another thing I also observed is, so far in the varietal development, we have used the introduction, varietal hybridization, etc., mutation breeding, but use of wild species was not fully exploited. So though some of the Coimbatore and Adurai Center has got a lot of wild related species, it has to be properly utilized, because some of the private companies have already started using it and they have got advanced lines for testing. Similarly, the traditional rice is coming up in a big way. But of course, all of you know, traditional varieties have got some plus characters, also have a lot of negative characters. Particularly, yield level is very, very low. So, in a limited area, we can promote. At the same time, I appreciate the effort taken by breeders in developing the variety VGD1, the Vayadam 1, which is akin to Jiraga Samba, but it has got the good characters of high yielding, suitable for mechanization, suitable for, can be grown all through the seasons. These are the good character. This needs to be promoted. In fact, we have got, number of discussions we had with APIDA. APIDA now says that there is a good trend towards export of rices, particularly non-basmati rice. Previously, export means only basmati rice. Now, the current statistics shows 50% non-basmati rice, and definitely our local varieties with improved one, if it is available, definitely will have a good mark and other things. Then, one word about NABARD. The present chairman, Dr. Chindala, who is an agriculture graduate from Pavatla, has got a lot of interest in developing agriculture and related fields. In fact, he has spent 1.5 days with me at TNAU, has gone up to almost all the labs, other things, and he is supporting TNAU in all aspects, in developing infrastructure, in developing some of our research laboratories, in transforming our technologies, etc. So definitely, please convey appreciation regards to our chairman, NABARD, and also the present APIDA chairman is also our own student. Definitely will make a very good mark in the case of export of rice and other things, etc. And finally, I'm very happy to note from the report of Dr. Ravindran, this global conference is a really global one because of the participation of 29 resource persons from outside the country. I really appreciate the efforts taken by the organizers to make it really global. Otherwise, there will be 1 or 2 people will be coming and saying global conference. So my appeal to all the participants is, please observe what are the unique thing which we are not having. These people are trying to emphasize. So once it is done, you can actually suggest or include in our programs so that we will be excelling in paddy production, just like India is known for paddy, banana cultivation. We are the highest producer in terms of production, productivity, etc. That too, Tamil Nadu, the Theni district is the topmost in the case of nearly we have recorded 90 metric ton. That's the reason why Dr. Uma is there, I think, banana man pricing rice because both are monocots. In that way, I am very happy. So definitely in the days to come, we will be able to make very good contribution in the case of rice, for which the global conference definitely give a way. And once again, I congratulate all the participants for their presence, either physically or joining through online and gracing the occasions, and come out with very good suggestions. The suggestions or the recommendations should be of two. One is to improve upon or the research facilities or research aspects. Second one is the policy makers. Some of the recommendations, if we give we'll be able to convey to the policy makers either at the state level or at the national level so that we can progress very well. Thank you for the opportunity given. With this, I am happy to inaugurate this conference.
Thank you, sir, for inaugurating the 2-day Global Rice Conference. As we progress towards the end of the inaugural session, I'm glad to invite Dr. C. Anantaramakrishnan, our most respected and distinguished Director of Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology, for the concluding remarks.
Good morning to everyone. Indeed, it's a great pleasure to say thanks to everyone. And first of all, I like to say thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor. Really, he is the motivation factor, not only to everyone, for me as well. Last 3 years, whatever, I changed my attitude also, seeing him, how he conducts the academic council meeting, all these things. The experience, what he is bringing to the table is enormous.
And thank you, sir. Thank you so much. When Ambedkar came to me, wanted to conduct a program at IIFPT, I said, this is the ideal place you can do that, sir, because this institute is started with the Party Processing Research Center by Dr. V. Subramaniam. If a RISE conference is going to happen in IIFPT, that is the most happiest one to do that, sir. That's what immediately accepted. Later again, sir came to me and told, VC sir told to conduct joint hand with the IFPT. I was double happy and thank you so much, VC sir, given the such a freedom to do things to be happen at IFPT. And we wanted to work together with Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. All of you aware of that, the long traditional relation with either PPRC or IICPT or IFPT. We are jointly working with Tamil Nadu Agriculture University under the leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor. TNA has changed the face. You would have seen that either ICR ranking or recently they announced TNA as the Green and Clean Campus Award, and SAR is going to receive that award very soon from the Honorable Prime Minister. That's what we wanted to see our Tamil Nadu institution, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University is growing such a level. Thank you so much, sir, taking that institution into the global level, sir. AK Singh sir is the part of IFPT. So along with the Uma ma'am, our AK Singh sir is the one of the board member of IFPT. And today IFPT has become an institute of national importance status. In another 15 days time, Government of India is formally going to declare institute of national importance status to IFPT. The success, what we got it, all these things from the board members. Without their support, without their strong guidance, we would have not achieved such a level of Institute of National Importance status. And today, the delivery of the lecture, and we know that RISE, AK Singh sir, name is synonymous, comes along with that. You would have seen his lecture and the way what he has put up the last slide, what our Vice Chancellor has mentioned about RISE value chain is the future. Because now the world is switching over from other crops like wheat to rice because of gluten is there in the wheat and celiac diseases continuously increase in the Western countries. They wanted to come to rice, but rice itself, lot of issues we need to address. Cultivation, yes, what sir has told, we produced very, very high. Last 25 years, that slide showed area is same, but production rate is increased and yield also increased. That is thanks to agriculture scientists from the last 50 years, we put enormous effort to do that. But now time has come to us to make value addition. Still, we are not able to achieve more than 80% of milling yield. We are achieved 69 average in whole country. Some mills, modern mills, even yields only 55%. How to increase the yield? Because rice wastage is 31%. Cultivating so much effort, energy, money, finally we are wasting 31% of the rice. That we need to value added and the storage conditions. We need to move on to the bulk storage, to the silo storage. So these are the things IFPT already has taken initiation and would have been listened to our Honorable Prime Minister's speech in the August 15th. Prime Minister mentioned about that very soon India is going to be introduce fortified rice kernels in central public distribution systems. And IFPT working very closely with the Government of India to form the regulations and guidelines how to use the fortified rice in the public distribution systems. Very soon guidelines is going to be out in the public domain. Please, you can also give the comment how we can implement. You are the expert of the rice and we made some comments, some policy decisions. You can also give that. Main concern is how to make this fortified rice kernel. We got the two technology. One is the extruder technology and IFPT has developed the 3D printer rice technology. Both can be used, but how we can mix it with that? What is the ratio? 1:100 or 1:200? We made it open and the industry can decide. And if we add it also, how to cook, how to leaching out the iron or vitamins into the rice fortified kernels, because that is a dream project of Government of India, because we are aware of that. We are not in the top 100 of our health index. We wanted to bring India's health index at least top 50 in next 10 years time. That means the one option is fortification of rice. So that is what all we have to work together. One is that fortification of the rice in the cultivation itself. Second one is that making the fortified rice kernel into the existing PDS system. So all will work together to make the things to happen. When we are celebrating 50 years, 75 years of our independence, what is our old trade? Sir, AK sir mentioned about that. Yes, we increased the export more than almost 20 to 30% increase in the non-basmati rice last year. Thanks to the COVID, this is the one industry is not shown negative growth last 1 year, but we have to do a lot. And right now we are standing world 17th rank in the business of food business. Even though we are world number 1 and 2, most of the food commodities.
we wanted to world top 5 or top 3 when we are going to celebrate 100 years of our independence. That means rice play the major role because that is the world more than 100 million tons of the rice we produce. So that means it has the huge potential to make impact to our Indian economy. So this next 2 days conference will deliberate and will come up with the solution for whatever the issues, either fertilizer issues, can we use the nano fertilizers? Already guideline has been brought, but how to utilize into that? The cultivation practice, storage practice, storage still 10% loss is happening, how to reduce it, or the value addition of the rice. So that's what we need to deliberate. We'll come up with the solution. Hope this conference yield some possible fruitful decision on this. Once again, thank you so much for everyone. And last, I have to say thanks to Dr. Uma ma'am. He's the part of our institute, not only the board member and also research committee chairman, research advisory committee chairman. And madam is like our family member, support us in each and everything. Thank you so much, ma'am. And also I'd like to thank all the team members of Adudurai. Tirelessly yesterday night, even 12 o'clock, the team of Adudurai staffs and IIFPT staffs headed by the Dr. Rangala Jagudi, head of that Center of Excellence in the Grain Sciences, which is a foundation stone laid by our Honorable Vice Chancellor. Last month, we inaugurated the Center of Excellence at IIFPT. It is going to be help not only the rice, all the grains. So all the staffs of IIFPT put up the wonderful show today. Hope we'll enjoy next 2 days stay at IIFPT environment. Once again, thank you so much for all the participants. Last 1.5 years, we have not utilized this hall. And where rightly pointed out, after 1.5 years, we open up this hall for the wonderful rice conference, Ulagan Nil Manadu. Thank you so much for coming to IIFPT.
Thank you very much, sir, for your concluding remarks. On behalf of the organizers, we would like to place on record and acknowledge our sponsors, NABARD, MASU, Rasi Seeds, UPL, South India Group of Companies, Corteva, and Stains. The technical sessions are concurrently going on in Hall 1 and 4. Refreshments are arranged near the registration counter, and I request all participants to attend the technical sessions in the concurrent places. Now I request everyone to please rise up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे